A long time ago in a galaxy far away. All right, boom. So somebody said it froze. We still good? All right, so notice when Star Wars come on, I'm just trying to show y'all how both of these movies, Star Trek and Star Wars, is Star Trek is about them trying to find Kai. All right, but Star Wars is about them finding Kai and then going on their way back, right, to try to get more people, all right, to try to get more of them. All right, they get into this big ass shootout, this big ass war with all these different other races, extraterrestrial races who are actually helping us. So that's why in Star Wars it was the Force versus the good side versus the dark side, right? Ain't that what Star Wars was about? And what was Yoda talking about? You know what Yoda represents in Star Wars? What color was Yoda, y'all? He was green, which was the original pigmentation of us. We were all either green, red, or blue at the time before the invasion. We called it the Great Invasion of 1492. But before that invasion, we were all red, green, or blue, and we were all so fucking huge in size. And I'm going to break all that down even more after I show y'all this. But notice, when as soon as it comes on, a long time ago, in a galaxy far away, Star Wars comes on like that because we are in the 999th galaxy. And this is the galaxy where the war took place at, right? So this is this planet Kai or planet Earth is in the 999th galaxy. All right, so this is the last of the galaxies that we created. Okay, so let's just keep going though. That's why but this is why Star Wars come on like that. Pay attention, signs and symbols for the conscious mind. Now let's read it out loud. Let's read out loud what these little words say. Cause see, when it come on, they show a lot of little words scrolling up the screen, and I don't think a lot of us ever read that. So let's read that shit and see what it say. So hold on, am I good? All right, so I'm gonna read it out loud. This is the Star Wars intro, y'all. I'm gonna read it out loud. Y'all can hear me? All right. I'm gonna read. Hold on. Let me turn the music down. Shit loud. All right, let me read it. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. All right, here we go. I'm ready. My bad. All right. It is a period of civil war. Rebel spaceships striking from a hitting base have won their first victory against the evil galactic empire. Now, remember I was telling y'all that this galactic war been going on since the reptilians turned. Remember, we created the reptilian race, right? And then the reptilians was the first ones to turn. All right? So notice when Star Wars come on, most people don't even watch this shit, but if you do, you definitely not reading it, because I never did, right? At first, right? But when you read it, it's telling you what's going on, and it lets you know how this is exactly what really happened. So they basically took what really happened and documented this shit in their movies and their science fiction. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. All right? So that's why it comes on. It say it is a period. Let me read it again. It is a period of civil war. This is a fact. Rebel spaceships, facts, striking from a hidden base, facts, have won their first victory against the evil galactic empire. So what they telling you right there is what the fuck they was doing to us during that war. They was striking at our certain ships that we had from the hidden base and shit like that. And they did win their first victory. All right? But they tried to make it seem the evil galactic empire when in reality, we were the good ones. They tried to call us evil though. All right? But let's keep going. During the battle, rebel spies managed to steal secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon. Now, keep in mind what they telling y'all, because I'm finna finish telling y'all this creation story, all right? But keep in mind in Star Trek, they telling y'all what fucking really happened. They say, hey, during this battle, this great battle that took place, they telling y'all about it. Rebel spies, remember I told y'all they used the Pleiadians as spies to get on our fucking planet? They telling y'all this shit in Star Wars. During the battle, rebel spies managed to steal secret plans. Remember I told y'all that they used the Moors, the Grantham. I'm finna go into that part. Let me just finish reading this. I got y'all. It's gonna connect. During the battle, rebel spies managed to steal secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star. Call it in Star Wars. They call the ultimate weapon that we had the Death Star, when in reality it's called the Merkaba. All right? An armored space station with enough power to destroy an entire planet. This is true. Your Merkaba can destroy many things around you. All right? They were pursued by the Empire's sinister agents. Remember, I told y'all about agents. Princess Leia races. Hold on, they call them Leia races on here. They Princess Leia races. But what they was really trying to say was the Princess Lyrian races. The Lyrian race is the fucking cat people that I was telling y'all about. All right? Pursued by the Empire's sinister agents and Princess Lyrian races, home aboard her starship, custodian of the stolen plans that can save her people and restore freedom to the galaxy. Let me bring that back. Y'all. All right. Pursued by the Empire's sinister agents, the Princess Lyrian races home aboard their starship. Okay? Custodians of the stolen plans that can save her people and restore freedom to the galaxy. All right? So they're telling you that they are the custodians of the stolen plans that can save and restore the freedom of the galaxy. All right? So what are the stolen plans that they talking about right here in Star Wars, y'all? The stolen plans I'm about to tell y'all now, because I ain't got to keep going with the intro on that. All right? Hold on, let me pull this up. All right. So look, now we right here about with Columbus finds Kai. Okay, Columbus finds Kai. Now let's talk about what happens when Columbus finds Kai. This is finna tie into what they was just saying about the stolen plans. Okay, so remember they was Star Trekking through the galaxy trying to find Kai. They find Kai. They sit down with the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians, the reptilians, and the human beings sat down and formed an alliance, right? And the plan they came up with was like, okay, we want to pop off. You know what I'm saying? We want to take over this planet. This is how we have to do it. Hold on. Y'all see the dome that was always around this plane? This glass dome opens and closes, all right? Keep that in mind. It opens and closes, all right? But let me finish. It's back what? It's skipping again? Y'all, am I good? Okay, cool. Exactly. All right. So now, once Columbus found this planet, he found our planet by entering our planet through portals in the Caucasus Mountains. Once he came out, it was just him and one of the Pleiadians. Him and his crew, right? So Columbus had never seen such power a day in his life. He had never seen being so powerful, so immaculate, so strong. He had never seen it. Him and his crew were so skilled. They immediately felt like ants in our presence. This is what they tell you about in the Bible when they say, and they was finna go into the promised land, but Moses couldn't go with them. That's because the reptilians couldn't just walk on our fucking planet. And remember they said that Moses sent scouts into the land in the Bible? That was them scouting us out from the fucking peaks of the caves. Scared to come out, you know what I'm saying? But they watching us from the caves though. Right? And what did they say? And we was looking at the land of Canaan and we were scared to enter because we saw giants and we felt like ants. That's how they felt when they saw us. All right? That's how they felt when they saw us, all right? So this what Columbus saw. What Columbus and his crew saw. This what he saw. Us looking like this. Anunnaki gods, giants, ripped up body formations, locks, powerful magical beings. All right? In tune with the electricity and the cosmos and everything around me. Period. All right? And everything around us, I mean. This is what Columbus and his crew saw when they came to planet Kai. And because we stood, keep in mind, humans was always little. This little height of 6 feet, that's small compared to our real statures. So they was 6 feet then, though, these human beings. We stood as tall. We stood between 50 feet to 70 feet on average. On average. All right? This is where the stories of the Nephilim and the giants and all that shit come from. All right? Because we were on a higher dimension, people. When these beings came to our planet, when Christopher Columbus and them came to our planet, our planet was on the 33rd dimension. Okay? This is why the Freemasons are obsessed with the number 33. We were on the 33rd dimension. And when Columbus and them looked at them caves and saw us doing all that shit, they were scared. So the reptilians told them, hey, well, let's use the Pleiadians. So the Pleiadians said, yeah, we can, because we have a relationship with them. So we'll just go on the planet and build a relationship with them. And once we get cool enough with them, we'll give the signal for the reptilians to come through, as well as the human beings, because the human beings was the weakest of them. Remember, the reptilians had powers. They got powers as well as the Pleiadians do. They don't have more power than us because we created both of them, but they do have powers. Okay? So, you know, Columbus and them, when they first came, man, the stuff they saw us doing completely defies the laws of physics. Like I say, everything that they saw us doing when Columbus and his crew came from planet Egypt on them ships, they wrote about that shit and called it Greek mythology. They wrote about that shit and turned it into movies and called it science fiction and made superhero movies and superhero comic books about us and our DNA and what we do, because we are electrical beings. We are electrical beings. All right? And when Columbus came, this was a multi-dimensional realm. We always had these avatars, but they never died because there was no time spell at the time. So we had these avatars and we would go in and out of these avatars. All right? So this is what Columbus was seeing. Multi-dimensional beings, high-frequency, powerful beings, giant beings. That's what they saw. All right? That's what they saw. Let's keep going. So you got to understand what we was doing when they came, creating multiple realities. All right? That's how we was moving, the blacks and Latinos. But then they formed the Great Alliance against us. And this is the Great Alliance. The Reptilians, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, and the Greys all came together to form an alliance to control us. Okay? So let me show y'all something. Y'all see this sign right here where it say, we come in peace? That's really what they came and said. You ever wonder why they got this saying and they show you alien spaceships or a spaceship pulling up and then landing and then the saying, we come in peace? Y'all ever wondered that? Like, why do they say we come in peace in movies and they show you aliens getting off a spaceship? We come in peace. That's what the fuck they did. Because the reptilians told them, okay, well, look, y'all know them. Y'all already cool with them. So just go ahead and set up an establishment with them. So the Pleiadians came and landed on the planet. And we be on that. So when they landed, we looking like, hold on. Y'all ain't called us and told us y'all was coming. Y'all ain't asked to come. None of that shit. You feel me? Even though we fucked the Pleiadians, you still can't pop up unannounced. You got to think, a lot of the stuff that black people do, we been doing, y'all. Nothing new under the sun. Like, we been like that. For real. Like, just because we guys don't mean nothing. We like that. Like, just like now. If I pop up to your motherfucking house right now without calling you, going to feel away. We was like that. We like, hold on. So when the Pleiadians came, we hold on. What the fuck y'all on? Don't be just pulling up on our shit. Y'all ain't called and said nothing. And that's why they get off the ship like this. We come in peace. Feel me? So once they said we come in peace, we was like, we should get on that with their ass, but they is kind of cool though. You know what? We gonna let that slide. But next time y'all come, y'all gotta call us, man. Y'all can't just be popping up and shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who y'all was. It's cracking. We into it with the reptilians. Y'all could have been there. We didn't know who y'all was. That's how we was looking at them. So once we got past that point, everything was cool. Now we got the Pleiadians on the planet with us. You know what I'm saying? The Pleiadians said they wanted to live amongst us. So we like, cool. We wasn't tripping. We started teaching the Pleiadians all our secrets, giving them all our advanced technology, teaching them all our secrets, the whole nine, y'all. The whole nine, y'all. Y'all know that story of the Pilgrims, how they came to the Americas and they got cool with the Indians and then snaked the Indians, killed them and took their land. That story comes from what the fucking Pleiadians did to us. They came and they played it cool and got real cool with us. And see, while they was getting cool with us, they started learning the secret to our power. All right? They was learning the secrets to our power. Like, what's the secrets to their power? If we could figure out the secrets to their power, then we can control them. The Pleiadians already knew that. If we could figure out the secrets to their power, we can control them, because this the thing. They already had the reptilians and Arcturians and these other extraterrestrials that's waiting outside our planet to come in. They just waiting for the Pleiadians to get in, get the access codes, open up the fucking portal so they can come in and help and ambush us. All right? So that's what happened, y'all. They ambushed us, all right? It was a fucking ambush. After getting cool with the Pleiadians for so long, they was the ones who got us to let the human beings come on our planet. The Pleiadians did, because the human beings look just like the Pleiadians. All right? So we let the humans come on our planet, all right? And when they came on our planet, they was like animals. Y'all was so fucking savage, right? Y'all was walking on all fours and everything. So we told the Pleiadians like this. We said, listen, man, they can't be on our planet unless they gonna be civilized. They gotta live, they gotta be like gods if they gonna be on the planet of the gods. That's what we told the Pleiadians. So they said, okay, cool. So what we did as the Anunnaki, we assigned a small part of us. We set up a actual group of us. We set up a actual group of us assigned specifically to helping civilize the human beings. And the goal was to take them from that spiritual state to a soulful state by giving them knowledge of self, which will help them go into higher dimensions, which would then decalcify their pineal gland. All right? This was the plan, y'all. So the group that we left in charge of the human beings was called the Moors. Moors. The Moors are the ones that taught the human beings literally everything they know, because we left them in charge of them. And the Moors are black. They were black, or if you want to call it, they were black people, or they the guys too. We just sectioned them off and gave them that name because they had a special job to go into the caves and civilize these people, help civilize all these people that was living like animals. All right, so the Moors went into the caves, cleaned the caves up, helped civilize them, taught them art. The Moors taught the human beings how to draw. The Moors taught them about all the different galaxies. The more we taught y'all about cathedrals and putting shapes, some type of thing. The Moors taught the human beings that. All right, so while teaching these human beings everything they needed to know, the Moors began to grow a love for the human beings that was different from us, because they was working hand in hand with the human beings every day. So it's just like if you working with a baby every day, you teaching him everything you know. By the time he's 4, you gonna love him too even more, because you know you loving on him back. Y'all growing a relationship. So that's what had happened. Keep in mind, all this time they've been on our planet learning all the secrets to our power. So they have found out that the secret to our power lie in our trees. Tall, ancient trees that would reach like beyond the sky. You feel me? And we were connected to these trees, and our trees had powerful energies in it, memories in it. Our trees would sing frequencies, the whole nine. We were blue, green, red. We did not have oxygen. We were only breathing hydrogen. All right? Oxygen makes you rust out. Oxygen is also not natural to the planet. Okay? So we was living our best life. We was doing our thing. And the Pleiadians, all right, after playing it cool with us long enough to find out, you know, what it is that we do, you know, eventually they found out that, hold on, these people ain't shit without these energy towers and without these trees and without this sun. So the Pleiadians figured out, like, the sun is the source of their power. Without that sun, they have no power. The sun and these towers. Listen, we had on our planet, y'all, you got to understand, every place y'all see a church was an energy tower. We had energy towers constructed all around the whole goddamn planet. And these energy towers we were connected to. And we had these little crystal chips that we would wear on our heads. And they were like data chips. Our energy towers were filled with eons and eons of memories. And everything was in these energy towers. And we were connected to them. And it was also the source of our power. It's like Wi-Fi. It's like Wi-Fi. If you go cut the Wi-Fi box off, your ass ain't gonna get no power. So, you know, they knew that, okay, these towers powered them up. All right, so what happened was this. After so long, the Pleiadians gained some nuts, and they attacked us, right? They attacked us, all right? And it was an off-guard attack. We didn't see it coming. The Pleiadians attacked us on our own shit. They attacked us, right? So when they attacked us, all war broke out. And they caught us off guard with the attack because we have been fucking with them for so long and we let them come on our planet. At this point, shit, we trusted them like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So they attacked us. They started blowing up our energy towers, which confused a lot of us because our memories was connected to these chips, and these chips was connected to these energy towers. So they started destroying these energy towers. That's why in the Bible they tell you about the Tower of Babel. That's only symbolic of how the fuck they destroyed our towers. In the Bible, how they say the Tower of Babel was destroyed and then became confused. That's how we really became. They was destroying our towers that we were connected to with our memories and everything. So we began to become confused and all type of shit. Some of us start fighting each other. Like it just all hell broke loose on our planet when they started destroying our energy towers and our trees. This is why in Avatar they put the emphasis on that big ass tree in the movie Pandora, and had a movie in that movie in Avatar. The tree was everything. The trees was everything for us. The trees also connect us to the other 8 realms on our planet. Remember that. So yeah, these beings came, and they knew that. They knew that shit. But their whole goal was to destroy. All right? And they did it smart. So they attacked our energy towers first. Let me show y'all how the crystals look that was in our head. I'm going to show you. And they show them to you in Avengers. That's the crazy thing. They showed y'all this shit in Avengers. Watch it. I'm finna show y'all the superhero. Vision from Avengers. This is exactly how the fuck the chips look that was in our head. Look, y'all. I'm gonna show them to y'all. They showed them to y'all in Avengers. Look. Y'all see this in Avengers? Y'all see it. Y'all see Vision? That little chip on his head? These is how the crystals looked on our heads, literally, that we had. And these crystals were connected to our energy towers. So really in this movie, Avengers, remember right here when they show Thanos taking the fucking soul stone out of Vision head? That's symbolic of them destroying our energy towers. Even though Thanos represents us, in this scene, this is symbolic of them destroying our energy towers. And once he took that crystal out of the Vision head, what happened to Vision? Vision died on the spot, right? Vision died on the motherfucking spot when he removed that crystal. That's what happened to us. We had crystals, y'all, that used to sit right here. I'm not talking about our pineal glands. We still have those, and we still had those then. But we had actual crystals that set up right above them, like Vision. And these crystals were connected to our energy towers. And these energy towers were all over the planet. Like everywhere, literally, where you see a church in a mosque, that used to be an energy tower. I don't give a fuck if it's a little church. Because they won't even let you build on the land where all our towers were. They have that land sectioned off strictly for the government. And the government uses that land to construct their churches and their towers. Facts. I mean, their churches and their buildings, because that land where we had our energy towers at is still full of high charged energy. Remember I told y'all it's a frequency war. So all they doing is building churches over our energy fields and then manifesting their own intent. Yeah, this shit get deep. We gonna keep going though. Hold on. Alright. Them the Moors. Alright, so after they destroyed our energy towers and started destroying, we really was confused more than anything. We lost a lot of powers, but we still had a lot of power too. We hadn't lost our size yet. Like, for example, we were still big. We were still red and green and blue and different colors and flying and all that type of shit. We were still doing all that. It's just when they destroyed our towers and they destroyed the trees, we became confused. A lot of us started fighting each other, and we kind of separated us. You know what I'm saying? Without no communication, we ain't got nothing. So it kind of shut us off from each other in a communication fashion. We couldn't talk to each other no more. None of that. We were confused. So the Pleiadians knew that we would become confused if they destroyed them towers, because they have been studying under us for so long. Okay, so now that the towers are destroyed, now that the trees have been cut down, now guess what? We still fucking them up, and we were still in our giant form. So they went to the Moors. This when they went to the Moors. Manipulation of the Moors. They went to the Moors and lied to the Moors. They said, listen, can you please give us the access codes to the Merkaba? The Moors said, no, why would we give y'all the access codes to the Merkaba when y'all already sitting here fighting the rest of the gods? We trying to end that whole war now. They hit inside the Moors' head and convinced them that they was not trying to get the Merkaba or the access codes to our ancient Merkaba to start a war. They told the Moors that they was trying to get the codes so that they can leave the planet. The Moors, not their fault, but they fell for the shit. Because remember, The Octarians are master illusionists. So the Pleiadians used the Octarians to kind of cast this illusion over the Moors in this false reality that it wasn't as bad as it really was, and that these fucking human beings was just gonna get this access code. Mind you, the Macabre is our most powerful technology. That's why when Star Wars came on, they took the secret plans. That's what they talk about, the Macabre. They talk about the access codes, all right? So they manipulated the Moors into granting them access to our ancient technology. All right, let's keep going. Attack on planet Kai. Now this is how our realm look. Realms, we in the middle. This is supposed to be Earth, if you want to call it that. This is what Thor and them at. They in Asgard. They call what we at Midgard. You got all these different realms, all right, on our planet Kai. But when they attacked us, they did not attack the other 8 realms of our planet. They only was able to attack what they call Atlantis. All right? Because our whole planet is Kai. But our realm that they call Earth is actually Atlantis. So all these continents, Asia, Russia, all that, this whole realm is Atlantis. And Atlantis is just one of 8 realms on this planet called Kai. Does that make sense to y'all? Okay, so the whole what we think is the United States and Africa and all these continents is actually Atlantis. All right? And I told y'all that Atlantis big as fuck. The continents that we know of is locked inside the ice wall. It's 3 other ice walls with more continents, and that's all part of Atlantis. And this is all in this realm. We got 8 other realms on this planet. All right? So let me keep going through the story, right? So these beings attacked us, the reptilians, the Pleiadians. All right, so once they got the access codes, this is what they did, y'all. That's why I say attack on planet Kai. Once they got the access codes, they took the Macabre and aimed it at our sky. They aimed it at our sun, and they blew the seconds. They shot it at the sun, and our second sun blew out of our atmosphere. That's why y'all don't see it to this day, but it's coming back. All right? But they took the Macabre, because remember, they have been studying us. So they already knocked down the energy towers, and they already knocked down the trees, but we was still fucking big and flying and fucking them up and shit. So they was like, the source of their powers got to be this sun. All 3 of those things were the source of our powers, but that sun had a bigger impact because the sun is like the fucking spinal cord. What your spine is to your body, that's what the sun is to this universe, to the universe. So, to the universes, all right? So yeah, I wish one of y'all would screen record my lives and then send it to me. It would definitely be a blessing. And I could post it to YouTube quicker. But this attack on planet Kai, this whole war broke out on our planet. All right? And after they got access to that Macabre and knocked our second sun out of the atmosphere, that's when all hell broke loose. We shrunk in size. We went from 100 feet, 70, 80 feet, 50 feet tall to these little ass heights you see today of 6 feet, 5 feet. We was never that little. We dropped in frequency. Our planet went from the 33rd dimension. We dropped all the way down to the 3rd dimension. All right? All of our beautiful dragons, they used to fly in the sky. They went from dragons and they turned to birds. Now because we dropped in dimension and frequency. So all our beautiful air dragons are now the birds that you see flying through the sky, your eagles, your falcons. All of our beautiful sea dragons are now they used to talk to us, are now fucking sharks and fishes swimming in the water because everything dropped. We was blue, green, and red. We now are just these copper pigmentations. All right? Which the reason we are copper is because the carbon is not fully charged up. When that second sun come back and your carbon charge all the way up, you're going to turn red, blue, or green. Facts. Your carbon isn't all the way charged up, so we appear copper. All these these little bushes, we're told what trees are actually fucking bushes. And these little bushes used to sing out frequencies and everything. Y'all, like, it's real like that. I'm telling y'all the realness of this shit. Look, destroyed the source of our power. Trees and energy towers. They cut the real trees down. All right? And they destroyed all the energy towers. All right? This is what they did, people. All right? Look, this how, now right here, if I told y'all to point out a tree to me, the average person gonna point down here. These are fucking bushes, 30 millimeter bushes. There are no more trees on our planet because we cut them all down. This is the actual tree right here. That's the stump of the tree. All right? But they call it Devil's Mountain, but that's actually a tree stump. That's how big we were. That's how big our fucking trees were. Them was our real trees. So listen, every mountain that you ride past when you go outside and you see a mountain peak, that used to be a tree. That's a tree stump. And all these things you think are trees are actually 30 millimeter bushes. Now do you see how they destroyed your planet? Really? Because now you finna go outside looking at shit with a different eye after this tonight. That's gonna fuck you up to know that every fucking mountain is a tree, including Mount Everest. Mount Everest is a tree stump. That's how big our trees were. They took everything from us. Everything. Our planet is desolate. There are no more forests. We had beautiful forests. We had huge, beautiful animals that don't even exist no more because you bitches made them extinct, killing them. I showed pictures I posted on Facebook of how huge the horses used to be, and this was after the fall. This was after the Great Invasion of 1492, because they came and invaded us in 1492, people. Look at our trees. Look how big our trees was. That's a tree stump. Yeah. The truth. Now do you see why they say the truth is stranger than science fiction? It really the fuck is. And I want you to see the desolation of these human beings and these reptilians. They came and destroyed our planet. They made us fall in frequency. Look how little we is right now. Look at our pigmentations. We didn't have to use crystals and things to charge us up back then. We were already charged up. Every electrical output that we need, like our orgone energy towers, have been destroyed. It was a huge orgone energy tower where what is now called the Bermuda Triangle, that used to be an orgone energy tower right there. That's why when they bitch ass fly over it, they ass always disappear. All right? So you got to understand, when they came to our planet, the source of our power has always been our trees, our energy towers, and our sun. They already destroyed all our trees. So that was one energy, that was one source of power that they took from us. The trees used to literally talk, sing, and dance out frequencies. Like, remember we was kids, they showed you these magical forests and enchanted forests and shit? Where do you think that come from? That's how our planet really was. Our planet really is... Our planet in its natural state is magical. Our plants talk, our animals talk, everything. This is how we created this shit. So when they showed us this in cartoons as kids, we was kids and we was in love with it because our souls connected to it. Then we became adults and we like, oh, that shit ain't real. That ain't. No. This is how our planet... Go watch Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz and all them old cartoons and notice how plants is singing and dancing and talking and the animals. And that's how it really was. It's actually still like that. Our trees, our 30 meter bushes that we call trees, they froze too. They used to literally move and dance and sing. And if your third eye is open, sometimes you can see them moving, still trying to move out the peripheral of your eye if you pay attention. The truth is stranger than science fiction. This is the origin story of human beings that I'm telling y'all. The origin story of this planet, Planet Kai, that they came and renamed Earth. Because what was their home planet called, y'all? Earth. Human beings are from Nern. What was the Nern nickname? Earth. Human beings landed on our shit, took over with help because they couldn't have did it alone. They had a lot of fucking help. And renamed our shit Earth. This is Planet Kai or Planet Tiamat. Facts. Alright. Alright. So, somebody said plants will react to your touch. Plants have life, mind, body, and soul. Which I told you, your words is powerful. The water will too. Go yell at some water, then put it in the freezer and watch how it frees up. it's going to, and then speak nice things to the water, and then put your water in the freezer and take it out, and compare it to the water that you was talking shit to, and compare it to the water that you said positive things to, and you're going to see that they have two different structures when they froze up. The water that you talk to and send good love to is going to freeze up perfect. It's going to freeze perfectly. And that water that you was saying negative stuff to going to freeze with all type of cracks and all type of, you're going to be able to tell a huge difference, because we are everything and everything is you. All right? All right? So, they got rid of that. Now, the last thing they needed to do was remove the sun. And they did that by blasting it out of our atmosphere, people. Daniel 4:10. Let's read this, right? Because, see, we jump over certain things. And I keep telling y'all the Bible is to be used as a reference source when you're doing research, because they got a little truth in there. But don't be reading it like, oh, this is the book of God, and if I don't read it, I'm going to hell. If I do read it, I'm going to heaven. That's all some bullshit and a lie. Trust me, you're going to be highly disappointed if you think that. It don't work like that. But we talking about these trees, right? So this is for my people that didn't believe that trees were really that big, that we was really that big. This is for all my religious people, right? I keep telling y'all religion ain't for us, but this is for my religious people, though, right? They don't believe trees were that big, right? The Bible, let's use the Bible quote. What they say in the Bible. This is from Daniel 4:10. All right, I'm going to read it out loud. Its leaves were beautiful, and its fruit abundant, and it was food for all. The beasts of the field found shade under it, and the birds of the heavens lived in its branches, and all flesh was fed from it. All right? The tree grew and became strong, and its top reached to the heavens, and it was visible to the end of the whole fucking earth. That's where that fucking story come from. They telling you how the world was before they invaded us. All right? Our trees were so big that you can see them from anywhere on the whole planet. And the planet, our planet, is damn near never ending. That's how much land we have on this one planet right here alone. So that lets you know how tall them fucking trees was if you could see them all the way to the end of the fucking earth. Anywhere on earth you gonna see our trees. That's how big they was.